name is Tiffany and welcome back to my channel. I have another Louisville home update for you today, so if you like DIY and home makeover videos, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. A huge thank you to Ruggable for sponsoring today's video. I'm going to talk a little bit more about them later, but with their help, I managed to turn this dark and dull space into this cozy, warm, and inviting bedroom, so let's get started. Here is what the room used to look like. It was painted this purple color, which made the room feel really small and dark. The biggest issue in this room, however, was that the closet in the room was also the access to the attic, and the layout of the closet portion just wasn't very functional since it's pretty deep and narrow. I had the walls painted in the color Du Jour by Valspar to brighten everything up, but the main priority for this room was to try to conceal the attic access and to make the closet a little bit more functional. I had the contractor remove the door, and I told him that I wanted the doorway to the attic made a lot smaller and to build an arched entrance to the right of the door, and this is what he built for me. You can see that the entrance to the attic is significantly smaller, and we also added drywall here to split the space into two. And on this side of the new closet, I'll put a rod for hanging clothes up here. So I always knew that I wanted to cover the attic access with a mirror, and I stumbled upon this TikTok where they put drawer slides on a mirror so it could slide against the wall, and I knew it was gonna work perfectly for this project, so I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. I found this mirror at HomeGoods and it worked perfectly in the space, and the most important thing is that the mirror frame is bigger than the opening that you're trying to cover. This frame is also made out of solid wood, which worked perfectly since I'm going to be screwing hardware into the frame. The only problem with this mirror is the carved cutouts because I didn't want the metal drawer pulls to show through. So I found some scrap wood. I literally found these in the garbage at Lowe's, but they were perfect, and I painted just one side of each piece the same color as the walls. Now I'm just removing the hanging hardware and these corner pieces that hold the mirror in place so that I have a flat surface to work with. Then I draw a guideline onto the scrap piece of wood so I know where to screw the drawer slide into later, and then I screwed that in place, making sure that the painted side is facing down. Next, I went ahead and screwed in the drawer slide using the guideline from earlier. These are the drawer slides that I bought from Amazon, and I'll make sure to link them down below. Here's a closer look of what it should look like with the scrap wood and drawer slide screwed on. I repeated all of these steps for the bottom of the mirror as well. This mirror is so heavy, so Mark had to help me hang it up. We started by marking out where we had to drill into the drywall, making sure that everything was level. Then we used these toggle bolts to secure the drawer slide to the wall. These are really awesome. We use them anytime we need to hang anything heavy, and we ended up using 4 for the top. I've already marked the bottom and started drilling the first hole, but then I realized that I was drilling into a stud, which made things a lot easier because I could just use regular screws, and I ended up using 4 heavy-duty 3-inch screws to secure everything in place. Time to test this out, and I can't even tell you how excited I was that this worked out so perfectly. Now it's time to decorate the room, starting with my brand new Ruggable. I am honestly so excited to be partnering with Ruggable because, as you know, we're going to be using this house as an Airbnb whenever we're not in Louisville, and while I personally don't wear my street shoes at home, I know that a lot of people do, so it was really important to me to have a rug that I knew I could keep clean. If you haven't heard of Ruggable, it is a rug system that comes in 2 parts, a non-slip rug pad and a lightweight cover that is machine washable. Like I mentioned before, the Ruggable system comes in 2 parts, so I started by laying down the rug pad. The rug pads are non-slip, and I chose the cushioned rug pad for extra comfort. Then I laid out the lightweight rug cover, which attaches to the rug pad using their cling effect technology. I chose the Kavi diamond rug in the color rose gold, and I'll make sure to link that down below. To demonstrate how amazing Ruggable is, Daisy is going to be helping me out today. I had pho for dinner the night before and had some leftover hoisin sauce, so I dipped Daisy's sauce into the sauce and had her walk on the rug, and I guess she wasn't really in a helpful mood because she left, so I poured out the remaining sauce directly onto the rug, and it did kind of look like poo, which was kind of gross, but I wiped most of it up with a paper towel and was left with this stain along with the paw print stains all over the rug. I simply removed the rug cover, put it in the washing machine, and washed on a delicate cycle in cold water and then dried on low heat. Once it was dry, I reattached it to its pad, and I was so impressed because there was absolutely no stain at all. This design is just gorgeous, and I think it's really going to tie everything together, but more importantly, this system is just so practical and I absolutely love it. So if you want a Ruggable of your own, make sure to click the link in the description box down below and use code LittleToe10 for 10% off your order. Next up is the bed, and I found an arched headboard on Facebook Marketplace for $35, and I knew it would be perfect for this space. It is solid wood and it was very sturdy, but it was a little bit scratched up, and I could tell that it had been painted black at some point. I started out by filling any large cracks and nail holes with some wood filler, and then I let that dry overnight. My initial plan was to just give this a light sanding and then paint it a terracotta color, but as I was sanding, I got to the natural wood pretty easily, so I decided to go ahead and try to get all of the paint off. I couldn't get the paint off with my sander on some of the crevices, so I used citrus strip and covered that in plastic wrap and let that sit overnight. The citrus strip did work, but it also left this residue which made the wood look kind of splotchy. I found this finishing wax at the return section at Lowe's for only $2, and I buffed it out with a clean rag, and here is what the headboard looks like now. If anybody knows how to remedy this, please help a gal out and let me know in the comments below. The splotchiness really bothered me, but we were on such a tight timeline to get this house done that I had to move on, but I will fix this the next time we're back in Kentucky. I assembled this simple bed frame, which I later screwed to the headboard, and then Mark helped me with the mattress. I went with simple white bedding and this textured duvet cover. I'm kind of weird because I don't use a pillow when I sleep, but I love the way a bed looks with a lot of pillows. I also added these throw pillows as a final touch. I do wish that the bed was a little bit shorter because it is awkwardly tall, but I figured since we're using this mostly as an Airbnb, guests can slide their bags underneath, and Daisy doesn't seem to have an issue with it at all. Moving on, I found a pair of these nightstands on Facebook Marketplace, and I also thrifted these lamps for only $5 each. These lamps are so beautiful, and they are definitely one of my favorite thrift finds. Next, I hung up the curtains, and I really liked the layered look, so I started with a sheer layer and then a thicker room darkening layer. We're also really close to our neighbors, and you can literally see our neighbor's side door right outside the window, so I added this window film for extra privacy as well. Since this room is a little bit too small for a vanity or a table, I wanted to make a little makeup area in the new closet. I started by hanging this large Edison bulb, and I created this cozy little makeup area by hanging a small shelf and mirror, which was also a Facebook Marketplace find. Finally, I hung up the clothing rod, and this room is all done. Here is a reminder of what the room looked like before, and here it is now. I also hung up some art and put a chair in the corner. This fox print is one of my favorite pieces in the entire house, and it used to belong to Mark's grandma. The star of this room is definitely the sliding mirror, and of course this gorgeous Ruggable that has really elevated the space. I just love how warm and inviting this room is now, and it is definitely Daisy's favorite room in the house. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I look at old videos and I'm just so happy with the transformation. It really is such a warm and inviting space now. A huge thank you again to Ruggable for sponsoring today's video. Rugs really make a difference, and I think this one really pulled the room together. I have a few more before and after videos, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel to follow along, and as always, thank you so much for watching.